welcome to episode 16 of Gaming the Meta. I am your host, Adam Buki Bukasel, and I am joined by none other than the strong, the hairy, the beautiful Alex of Great Booksell, brother in arms. It's an exciting day today for people of Vera as the Winnipeg Jets take on the favorite St. Louis Blues in Game 7 tonight.
Yeah.
That is why we're here. But on a less important note, Alpha 2. Some big news, some big changes. One of the biggest changes affects me directly. The other change does, and it does not affect everybody else in the States. We're going to talk about the dev update that happened on April 30th. And of course, we will talk about the best subjects. But before that, I switched scenes too early. Before that, how are we,
Oh,
Alex?
I'm doing good, Adam. Just
Are,
living the
no, we're
dream.
not.
Well, I
Cat went
have
missing.
cat went missing. Lacrosse season started, and I still owe 80 grand to the government. Woo! Let's go.
Uh,
We're doing
Next
good.
week it's going to be more.
Yeah, every day it's a little more, Adam. Every day it's a little more.
I can't believe it. But hopefully this
Hopefully, Calio comes
podcast.
back
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. Number one, Calgary. Yeah, if you're ever in the Calgary area and see a white cat that loves you, it's probably ours.
and has
Uh,
warrants.
yeah, Callie of the Vast, named after the commander Callie of the Vast in Magic the Gathering. But that is besides the point. Maybe we start a commander podcast. Maybe we get more
Yeah,
viewers that way.
let's switch it up here.
Yeah, we need some money now because
Poor.
we are being targeted by the government. But other than that, you know, did a few training sessions with England Box Lacrosse, which was fun. They're actually playing tournament in Prague right now. I think they're actually playing Japan right now, and I think they probably will lose that. I didn't know this, but apparently Japan's box team is like third best.
Oh,
Yeah, apparently they're just fucking killers through and through. They
well,
put a
when you
lot of money.
start them at 2 years old off the womb.
Well, they put a lot of money in the last like 10 years or something. Like the government subsidizes a lot of the programs and stuff. But
Yeah.
that's neither here or there. I have a test on Tuesday, my first of four, and then it's going to be my last university test I ever take. But we are here to talk about our favorite pastime games, and then our favorite thing to hate about games, MMORPGs, and our favorite thing to hate about MMORPGs. Games that are promising us everything but don't deliver, and that's not this game, is it, Alex?
Oh no, terribly not.
No. But in order to help them deliver, we are going to go to the best segment, our favorite segment, the only segment that anybody ever watches this for, Skill Diff. Dun, 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 dun.
Bum, bum, bum.
First up, oh, I forgot to take the. I always do this. I probably got to take the animations off the fucking class symbols. First off, me. I'm doing the Apostle, which is uh cleric plus tank. We both have tank skills today, but I'm doing as the augmented Sanctification Wave. Ooh, it's an augment of Consecration Wave. Actually,
Did
Sanctification is a synonym of Consecration. So I
I was
have a
gonna say, did you
feeling.
learn that in school?
No, I didn't
Did you
learn in
learn that
school.
word in school?
No, but I actually have a feeling that that's what they're going to do with these augments. They're just going to like, what's the synonym for this? So this could very well be an actual skill. And now that I have made it, they're going to have to ask me for it. Ha ha
Yeah,
ha.
now they're gonna have to ask for permission and
Yeah, suck on that apple, Steven. I'm kidding.
Stupid.
Uh, but I really like bounce mechanics when things go out and come back. I think they're pretty fun to do and makes you think about where your character's positioning. So send forth
He's an
in the
Ari
first.
main.
Yeah, I know already. Uh, shush. You don't ruin my browser search history.
He's a furry.
Yeah, that's why the background's I mean blurred
Yeah,
because all my
blurry,
costumes are laying on the
hiding.
ground. Anyways, the first part of it is just consecration wave. So on the first part, it's just the normal part. Send forth a wave rating that deals Radiant Seal that deals radiant damage and applies volatile to all enemies in front of you and heals allies. That's the typical one. This spell one debuff and silences. Uh, and then after reaching its destination, the wave comes back and applies a defensive buff to allies while pulling in enemies. So the two things that the tanks should be good at is being tanky and crowd control. Two things that the cleric should be good at is healing and dispelling, and I feel like it has everything there. This is obviously going to be a very big skill. It should be a very flashy skill. It should be a high cooldown skill, as it does a little bit of everything. Alex, thoughts?
I wanted to blind people. I think it'd be fun.
That would actually be better um, debuff than pulling people in.
Yeah, that'd be kind of like it's either you kind of move on the tank side where you do the pull like the chain that they have, or that you do on more of like on the cleric side where they do like a blind or what else do the um maybe like a stagger, like put
Yeah,
like
yeah,
stagger stacks on them.
yeah. Maybe that's something's like hard crowd
Like what if
control.
like it all depends on which avenue you want to go, right?
Yeah, but no, even with like just the theme of the spell, just a giant ray of light
Yeah,
coming at you, it should
yeah.
probably blind you instead. Good call. Good call. That's why we have these discussions. We're always developing here at Gaming the Meta. And if you want to develop with us, join our
Send in
guild.
your games.
Yeah,
Yes. Send
or
in
join our,
your skills and we'll get
yeah,
it to
send your
Steven for you.
skills. We have a direct call. He's on actually line one right now. Other than that, we're coming back to the augmentations. This is an augmentation of uh, con- consecrating wave. Augments are probably not going to be until next year.
Whoa, 30-30?
Yeah, 2030.
No,
Uh,
no, 30-30.
oh, 3030. When we're all long gone. Uh,
Yeah.
do we? So then here's the question: do we still think it's like how are we feeling? Like we've done 100 of these skills. I think that actually we're almost so we've almost done every class. Sometimes we did
Yeah.
class twice. I think we're only missing like 6 or 7 classes. So we've done a lot of these skills. Is it worth the time and effort, or should they just put these skills or the fundamentals of these skills into the archetypes and just abolish the augmentation system?
Oh, like instead of doing like an augment, you get to just pick
No,
like
instead of just
little
doing the augment, you just get the skill as normal. I'm saying should
as
is
oh,
it worth it at this point? Like we've seen so many delays, we've seen so many
yeah.
instances of negativity towards combat. Is it even worth like making it more complicated than it already is?
I think they need to dumb it down for themselves. um like even having like if they just went okay, mages will do the mage archetype for everybody. You get to pick an element and your skills use that element now. Like pretty quick, simple, like quick, simple stuff would help them out, I think. But as to what you said, maybe I don't know if they would scrap it right away, but it
I
might be an
mean,
idea.
I don't think by the way, I love the system. I don't think there's a shot in hell that they scrap it. But and we're going to talk about this because from the outside looking in, it doesn't seem like they have all their production railways on track
No, not at all.
because they are, and I get it, it's an alpha phase, blah blah blah, but through that alpha phase, you can kind of see where they're prioritizing, and right now they're prioritizing gameplay. Even though I'm gonna pull up a quote from Steven. He specifically says we're not interested in the user experience, but their patch notes and everything else speaks otherwise. But Onwards and upwards. Upgrade Overwhelming Aurora. This is for the Spell Shield, a tank mage. Probably one of the more interesting archetypes. Emanate Aurora around you, around the cast for 8 seconds. That deals. Oh, this is an augmentation of Emanating Aurora, Intimidating Aurora.
Yeah.
So the first part is largely, I mean, the whole skill is largely the same. Emanate an aura around you, around the caster for 8 seconds. That deals magic damage. And the difference is with applying a decreased 10% magic resistance, applying every 0.5 seconds. Obviously, it stacks up to however much. Generates threat equal to 30% of your maximum health every tick.
Yeah. Because if someone's making me hurt more, I think I want to hit that guy if I was a
Yes.
boss. Um, this is just a little augment. This is a little one. I kind of cheated on this one. I think it wasn't very
I mean,
spectacular like my other
I
ones.
I mean it goes exactly to what your answer was prior. Maybe they have to dumb it down. Maybe
Right.
this is
Yeah.
just the kind of the augments that we need.
Just need. Like, hey, switch it up from magic damage, and then your spellcasters can do a little more damage. Okay, cool. Sounds good. But this also stacks, right? So if you guys time it right after 6 seconds, and I believe the lightning ball, uh, uh, that the
Ball lightning.
mages use, like that big lightning ball, I think it has a charge of like 4 seconds or something
Oh,
like that.
like the cast time? Like the channel time?
Yeah, yeah, the channel
No,
time.
it's like 2 or 3.
There's one that's like 4 seconds, if I remember correctly.
Oh,
I
that's
can't remember.
the where you hold it and you like shut bring it down.
Yeah.
That one. I
So
forget that skill.
so that's like a 4 or 5 second thing, right?
Yeah.
By the time it hits it, that creature's at max resist, or like like for the 8 seconds. Like you're hitting that window. So if you
Yeah.
guys can time it right, it's like, oh, boom, 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 and then you get a
Yeah.
big massive
And
numbers,
that's
right?
where, honestly, that's where the augment system is going to be the most fun when you're playing with friends. I
Yeah.
was just kind of doing the math. That would mean it would be 160% magic resistance decreased, and
Yeah, something like that.
that might not be okay because that's just like true damage plus some.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
my numbers are off, but hey,
but
it'd be fun.
the point still stands. You can still
Point still set.
decrease the magic resistance. Yeah, and like
Yeah.
there has been an overwhelming, I think, disdain towards group, not disdain, but jealousy towards group uh combats for solo players. And there's not a lot of incitement to do the group combat, especially now when, not everybody is online. It's actually hard enough to get like an average level group going as it is. And maybe the Surger mergers that we're going to talk about right after this. Actually, that's a good segue, Adam.
Well,
That was
even with the big decrease of drop, equipment drops as well that they're doing too, right?
right.
You're gonna be more looking into, okay, I gotta somehow make money. How do I go do that? Well, I'm gonna go hang rocks or cut down trees. What do you want?
For 6 hours. Honestly, we're going to talk about a little bit of that too today. But the next segment, which is going to be the bulk of our discussion, is going to be the dev stream, and we're going to talk about a little bit about the the rocks, the decrease in the balance changes, the decrease in common items or gear drops, and a few other things, and the Tranquil Sea and the Tropics and the Jundar. It is high key, low key, no key with us two. All right, high key, low key, no key. On
Me first.
the dev development stream. We'll do a high key, low key, no key for the dev development stream, and then adding the balance changes and everything. So what are you? And we're going to go with so I'm high key fearful for this. Because I think in the
Yeah.
last month I've been pretty negative on the game in general. So we're gonna have a pretty or have some criticism. So high key, this is what I want to change. Low key, this is what I want to change. And no key, this is fine. So that's how we're gonna
Yeah. Oh, okay.
deal with deal with it.
Switching it up here. Okay.
Yeah. Instead of excitement, it's a worry.
Yeah. Uh, so I would say high key. I would like to change. Um, what was the one? Uh, they're changing the drop rates, which seemed weird to me.
Yeah, they're lowering
Cause
them, aren't they?
yeah, and the whole point of drop rates is to get decent material, like decent stuff. So when you get money or whatever, you can go craft. Because I think the whole point at the beginning of the start of this was like bosses and stuff would get certain gears, but it doesn't matter what they get. The if you can make it 10 times better, right? That's the whole point. So it kind of like
That's the major incentive to crafting, right? It's
yeah.
crafted
So
items are the best items.
now it's like now crafting items is the only item because no one's gonna spend 4 hours on a boss to even get a less percentage chance to get a helmet that they need for just until they get enough money to get make legendary gear.
Right. So,
So that's gonna be the pain in the dick.
and then it
Um,
pushes the players to do crafting, which then creates surplus of people mining when you have uh, what's the other
less of everything.
surplus? Yeah, and then when you have less gatherables, now you're just gonna have less gatherables. So not only is the gear drop rate slowing down because more people are crafting, the crafting rates per player is
Is
slowing
going.
down.
Yeah.
So
And then they're doing it worse because they also mentioned the uh, how much material is needed to uh, what was it that they said they're adding it's gonna be like I think this is how I understood it. It's gonna instead of having like one oak for one piece of board, it's gonna be like two oaks for one piece of board.
so they're increasing the amount of material needed.
They needed.
So for those
So
of
you
you that
yeah.
haven't gone through the grind that I have in crafting, I know I think I know my all my crafting levels off by heart, by the way. So
That's
I was going to take a screenshot and say because my goal I was going to make a legendary weapon. My goal is to make a legendary weapon. All right, that's the orange one. That's this nice and shiny one. A legendary sword doesn't matter the level. I hit like 41 in mining, which is grandmaster. So I hit master, got 10 levels more. Hit
and
41 in mining.
decided to keep going.
I kept going. I hit journeyman in uh metalworking. I hit journeyman in lumber milling. I hit journeyman in, so these are 30 plus. I don't know the exact. Lumber milling, uh lumberjacking. I hit 10 in herbalist, so gathering. Okay, let's just go through the gatherings. The gatherings. Mining grandmaster. Lumberjacking 30. Herbalist 10. I think I got 8 in getting the animal, the animal thing. And I'm
The
missing.
tools.
No, that's stone. So that's still mining.
Oh, that's still
Processing.
money, I guess. Processing.
Processing. I got I hit like 28 in no, I hit 20 in stonemasonry or apprentice in stonemasonry, journeyman in mining, journeyman in lumber milling. Uh, Everything else is the the normal one. Crafting, this was my goal, 8 in weaponsmithing, 3 in armor smithing, and 3 in jewel crafting. I think I have a
Jeez.
higher tanning level than I did a weaponsmithing level for like the first solid month of me doing this.
Yeah.
or leatherworking, I should say. So there's obviously an issue when, as a solo player, my goal is I want to make a weapon. How do I do that? Oh, I go find materials. Okay, I will go find materials. What materials do I need? I need copper. Sure, I need copper till 10, uh, tin till 20, iron till 30 or whatever. Okay, now okay, at level 10, you need a slate weapon mold. The slate weapon mold things need to go. They need to
Stupid.
redo it
So
because
dumb.
it's dumb. So when I was crafting my journeyman pickaxe, so you also need a journeyman pickaxe so you can mine journeyman stuff. It's not just level 30. No, 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 no. For a
No,
slate
you
what?
just don't have to be it. You have to have the weapon for it.
Yeah.
And Adam,
For
you're telling me this is all for a sword?
yeah, yeah, right. So I know, right? Uh, for the slate weapon mold, you needed slate clay. For slate clay, you needed apprentice level thread, or uh, so
Yeah.
you need 5 different avenues of processing to make one slate weapon mold. Not 5. You needed like 4, I think, because you needed animal oil, you needed stone, you need wood, and then you need what's the one that I just mentioned?
The
Oh,
fabric.
the thread, yeah, the fabric.
The thread, yeah.
So you need 4 apprentice level journeyman stuff, or apprentice level stuff, to make one apprentice level item, so you can even mine.
You can even mine this other thing.
Yeah, it's it is. I'm all for challenges in games. I'm all for it. I think one of my favorite some of my favorite subtypes of games are the Souls-like games. I think Sekiro Shadows Dice Twice is probably one of my favorite solo player game. Other challenges, All Skulls, Halo 3, did that all the time. Challenging games is fun. Fuck, I play League of Legends still to this day. I challenge my mental all day, all the time.
Psyche.
I don't mind it. It's frustrations that they need to figure out, and I don't think they made that distinction yet this far in their development. But yeah, so sorry, I just went on a fucking rant on your point.
I don't know. That's how you make a sword.
Yeah.
Like honestly, it's exactly that. Like if you would have told someone, "Hey, I would like to play Ashes Creations and I want to make armor. Can you explain how to do that?" No. I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah.
Please go figure it out.
Yeah.
I
I
don't want
mean,
to scare you away.
so there is a wipe, and my next character is not. I've crafted. I focused on crafting on 2 characters now. My next character is not crafting. The
No.
thing that I want to do in the game has been frustrated has frustrated me to the point where I don't want to do it anymore. And that's a bad sign. That's a
Yeah.
really bad sign. Because imagine that same thing happens in other aspects of the game, like shipbuilding. Okay, I want to build a hull. You need 100 oak. Okay, fine. Build a hull. Okay, what?
Easy.
That's the easy part. Okay, what else do I need?
Oh, I have to put cannons. Oh, I
It
need
doesn't.
this. I need
But if you most games, if you hover over the hull icon, like the thing that you need, it'll say, "Oh, get these items for the rest to build a ship." Right? Like it
Yeah,
says,
yeah,
like
yeah. It gives you a hint and
it gives you
like, hey,
hints.
this is
You need this. You need this item. Okay, what's that item? Let's go to the
fine.
things. I went through the all the processing things in New Ayla. I couldn't find uh the the thing that I could build with my hull, because my hull used oak, and it was novice. Oh, sorry, yeah, novice level processing to process the hull. So you would assume that there's novice level processing to build a ship, to have a novice level ship. I couldn't find any of the parts or figure
Oh,
out. I couldn't process any of the other stuff. So now I just have well, I'm down. I don't need the 100 oak. I was like, oh, that 100 oak was my experience. And um, another side point to my rant, I went through so many fucking oak trees. Guess how many legendary wood I found?
100.
Zero.
Yeah.
I didn't find a single I literally chopped
Whoa,
down
Adam, didn't
trees for
they
like 6 hours one day.
didn't they say they upgraded the rate of legendary stuff? Hmm, weird.
I found a few
Promises, hey.
epics. I found two epic oaks. That was it.
See, this is where we talked on the podcast before, where there should be a system where it says, okay, I can put 10 boards together to make a 10 novice boards together to get a common, and then 10 of those to get like the glint stuff and be able to upgrade it
Yeah,
just to help this shit out.
yeah. Because the fact that they still haven't addressed the big problem with crafting, and then now they're going to put more stress on it, is a high key worry for me too. If you get,
Oh,
by the way,
I'm terrified.
if you haven't noticed, I'm kind of in the same agreement with you with high key, but just for the sake of it, I'm gonna high key something different because I took a little away from the pickaxe and the the lumberjacking to
Mhm.
explore Vera a little bit. And I am high key worried about the content in the new zones that they're adding. It is so I went to the Jundar. I'm level 15 by the way in a level 30 zone. And I was able to kill level 30 mobs, which is hilarious.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. I was like, seriously?
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah. I didn't get any experience from it, but I had enough stats. And that just shows
Oh,
you that just shows how the class the class
the
numbers
leveling system.
yeah, is
Yeah.
a bit wonky, but that's just all a number thing. But I was more worried about just the sheer amount of content that I say sheer amount like there's content in it. There's no content. There's just mobs, and there's just mobs on mobs on mobs, and the levels are
Yeah.
changed. Obviously, they're going to add content, but I am of the opinion that the Riverlands is as big as you need for a testing phase.
Yeah. I don't know why they're pushing on. I understand another testing site to kind of help with the uh what's it called? Like for players for numbers, player numbers for because you got to think this is going to be a huge this is like a tenth of the world right now.
Yeah, and I get it for that reason. Like if they want to test
Yeah,
scale, fine, whatever.
fine.
But that's
But
not what they're doing with it.
no, next month they're gonna start, or 2 months, whenever the update was is gonna be. It's gonna be for the server meshing and the dynamic gridding is gonna be coming up soon. And
And
they're
then they're
like,
gonna
hey, but everyone, let's spread out a bit.
yeah, and then
So
they're also adding the anvil, which is another starting zone. So they're
yeah,
adding another zone. Hopefully, because they labeled it as a starting zone, that's going to be a zone that has way more content in it. But if you look at the first 10 levels that you experience in the Riverlands, it's actually a very good game.
yeah, for sure.
If you were to put yourself, if you were just to take your character and put yourself in either the desert or the tranquil sea, the tropics, or the June you would think this is literally a one dev team. And
Yeah,
that is worrying because it feels like they're pushing out the cool looking things without actually working on why those things exist.
yeah, for sure. I don't know. Did you watch the whole stream?
No, I skip the Q&As now because every other question he has to
Yeah.
preference he prefaces like this is a testing phase. It's like, yeah, okay, fair.
Well, the in the I'm not gonna. It's not a quote, but I was watching them play the new area on the island, doing the
Yeah.
little quest thing,
Yeah, yeah.
and Steven's like, "Yeah, this new area is gonna be really good for group contact and solo players." And I'm like, "Wait a minute! Each of these players are fully maxed out gear. They're all like, they all have orange gear. They're
How do you know they
maxed
all have
out
I didn't see that they had orange gear.
because uh the one guy who was doing the tank, he's like, "This is my first time tanking."
Oh,
So
okay.
and then he's like, he had this big ass weapon, and he's like, "Yeah, no, it's pretty. This game's really easy when you have the like the game developer thing. They could just throw items in,
Yeah.
right?" So I'm assuming they like, why would you use the shitty gear? Because I sure wouldn't be. Um,
Oh, so you're just assuming that they're using orange gear.
yeah, and
They're
they were
probably
having
use to be fair, they're probably using gear that's above what the average player would have at that time.
for sure. For sure. And then I was watching them trying to kill these things, and I'm like, "You guys okay?" Like, you guys, they're like doing like, it was so slow to killing these little mobs, and I'm like, "How's a solo player gonna be able to do this
Yeah.
at all?" But
It's funny how he said it like that because he's typically always been an advocate of having group play and solo play be very separated. Like
yeah,
he's often said that, this game is trying to get you to be in groups. It's not trying to get you to play solo. If you want to play solo, fine, but the game is trying to incite you to play into groups. So
yeah,
wouldn't that imply that there's a separation between the group content and the solo content?
yeah.
So the
Sounds
fact
like
that
a dictator.
yeah, I guess I don't know, but you know,
Liberals, conservative.
it's not that
No.
controversial, but it's kind of in the same mindset. Like I don't know how you can have an area for group and solo content.
Yeah. But anyways, on your point of high key of uh content, they did say that they were gonna add in quests, but are those quests gonna be go kill 10 goblins and you did it, or is it gonna
Yeah, it's
be
gonna be
an
like the
actual
commissions.
storyline a little bit or something?
Yeah, I just think
So
they've done so well with the Riverland. Even like in the Riverlands, feel like each node is like I know when I'm in Miraleth without
distinct.
looking at the map, and I know when I'm in New Ayla without looking at the map. I don't think they
Yeah.
need more map. I think they need more. Uh, they need the classes actually. I don't care if
Yeah.
I'm
Stop.
on a
Stop
fucking
making the classes or
yeah.
the mods and everything. Go to classes. Figure it out.
I don't care if I'm on a patch of grass 4x4. If you have all the archetypes, perfect.
I'm ready
Okay,
to
go.
launch
So
the game, bro.
yeah. So what's your low key? What's your low key?
Uh, Low key, I'm excited for the new
Not
naval
excited.
combat
Not
zone.
excited. Not excited.
Oh yeah, not
Worried.
excited. Not excited. I'm worried about the naval combat. Um, because they did say they were gonna do a bunch of updates on it, which was kind of, I'm like, okay, well, how do you update a ship um, that floats in the water and stuff? Other than that, just the naval combat itself, I want to see what they do with it, because like, well, that's because that's what we're gonna be prevalent in, is building the ships. And if we had to make cannons and they get lost in sea every time your ship dies, it's gonna be a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, naval combat's up there. I think even their focus on the ocean. Honestly, they could not focus on the ocean and nobody would even bat an eye. But the fact that they are doing it is kind of like it's a benefit to us. Like if you look at other games like Black Desert Online, it's a great example. Yeah, you did have a lot of boat stuff, but most people just use it for fishing. Guild Wars 2 is a perfect example too. There's a lot of there's a lot of sea things you can there's a lot of things you could do on the sea, but it's not to the extent that Ashes is
Yeah,
bringing it. Like everything could just be inland, and not a lot of people will be like, "Oh, why can't we go on the ocean?"
it's just a bonus.
Yeah, so applaud them when giving them their flowers. It's a very beneficial
Yeah,
thing to do. But I just they they need to just do it right. I don't know how to do it right. I think play Black Flag for 100 hours a week and then see how they did it.
and then ruin it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then this
Yeah.
what's
No,
the
what they need to do, they need if they really want naval combat, you need to be able to move the sails. Captain can't see the whole boat. It's gonna be your first person. Everything's first person. Um,
oh,
what was
so
the other
not
thing?
top down when you're driving?
Not top down. If you're driving, you're there. Like you have to look around because that's how you play the game. You might as well keep it right there, like right, kind of maybe a little back, a little bit, but not much. Uh, Cannons should be either if you want to go, hey, my ship's better, like, and say a legendary ship, it just has legendary cannons. Like that's it. Like Dunzo.
Oh, so
Instead of
you're
having
like yeah. No, I
yeah,
get you.
like your quality of the ship is just quality of the ship, and then have different kinds of ships, like a faster boat, a more tanky boat, or a slower, like a kind of different ones. And then uh just the and different maybe like a grappling, you can add like grappling hook or add like a little extra piece, like you want a stronger front so you can ram people better as the fast boat or something, right? Maybe that's it. Like maybe if there's a fast boat for ramming and that's what that it does, kind of thing. I
Oh,
think that's what they need to
so you're
add.
opposed to having the arcane engineer build you the arcane cannons every time your ship
Yeah.
goes up? Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't.
Eat my socks. Suck a
I
boba.
a suck a boba. Yeah, that's a good one. You puddle. I would like to agree. It's just I like the idea. It's probably way more immersive to have like an. I think it's pretty cool to have an arcane engineer just building the
Oh,
cool
for
stuff.
sure.
But
Yeah, for sure.
what
It is cool. I'm not saying that's not cool, but
for gameplay wise, like I get it. If you have if you're building a legendary ship, it's like what makes it legendary aside from the wood.
yeah, like ooh, the screws are really nice.
Yeah, it's like ooh, the grain.
Brain
Like
go the same way.
yeah, like and I get it. Like you built houses, everything, decks and stuff. Like the quality of wood matters, but that's that's just some point a legendary
Yeah.
oak is oak at some point. But yeah. So those are our low keys. What do you think they did well? So this is the no key since it's no key for negative thing. What do you think? Oh, I guess I haven't done my low key. My low key
Yeah.
is the fact that they're doing balance changes. They're starting their balance change run. I think that's the
Finally.
I don't think it's a good decision to do it because that just says you are diverting your team, some of your team, which is at like 200 by the way. This is not a small dev team anymore. This is
No.
this is a proper
Dev team.
development team. This is a proper dev team that can work that hasn't seen a beta test in their game. So they are now diverting people that are supposed to and he did mention that they were actually diverting people. It's not like they are
Yeah.
hiring new people. He mentioned it not this month but
They
last
are
month.
hiring though. At the very end, they did say they're hiring.
Yeah, they are hiring, but they're always hiring. Uh, honestly, if they see some of these recordings, I don't think I'll ever get hired.
No.
We're just like talking. We the last two of them we've just been talking shit. We haven't been really positive. Maybe next month or next week, but or 2 weeks from now. But the fact that they're diverting people that went through that enormously rigorous
Grind.
hiring process just so they can change numbers is disheartening to me because there's so many things that I have not seen in the game that needs to be, because what if you make the balance changes, new things show up and completely negate the balance change,
Oh yeah,
right?
that's what happens.
So the fact that they want to like balance things, like they've done a pass on gathering, two passes on gathering. Like they've updated gathering a few times since I've been playing. They've done a pass on nodes. They've added node sieges. They've done a pass on essentially everything except for the complaints that we've had with the archetypes. Does kick really need to be a rogue skill?
Yes,
Yeah, absolutely, right?
absolutely, Adam.
So they haven't done a pass on the skills, and I get that that's probably the most important thing to get the pass to do well on. But the fact that they're adding four new zones, a starting zone. They don't have. I don't know. It's just like, why are you focused on balance when there's so many other things? Yeah, when game breaking things pop up, like the legendary shortbow one shotting everything,
Yeah, fix it. Not a problem.
fix that.
Easy enough.
But but does my what's like lethal blow dealing 10 more damage than it's supposed to really going to change my playing experience? Probably
No,
not.
maybe a summoner would.
Maybe a summoner would definitely change my playing experience. But on that, so our no key, what's the no key?
Noki, I think I'm. So this is gonna be for. It'd be. What's your Noki? I'm not too sure what my Noki is yet.
So I think the thing that they are doing well, I honestly love the uh they haven't really updated or changed anything, a lot of it in a long time. But the game looks fantastic. Just from a
Oh,
visual
definitely.
perspective, and I think they can shut the criticism that the game doesn't look unique, I think could be put away. Because I think the game looks unique at this point. I think the skybox, how they update the skybox and stuff. There's a little
Yeah.
weird thing with the transition and stuff, and the fact that it was spring and there's snow on the ground for 2 weeks. It's kind of weird. I mean, it's not weird for us. I mean, there's snow in spring, fall, and summer in Canada all the time. But for like the season immersion thing was kind of weird. But when it was fall and all the trees were different colors and stuff like that, they are doing a fantastic job on the visual side, and they do not get
Yeah.
enough credit for it.
Yeah, I would say that's pretty accurate. I really like how the water moves when you're
Yeah, you
on a
mentioned that.
boat. Yeah, I did like that. But yeah, like visually, I think even watching like YouTube's videos, I don't I don't even think people say Ashes of Creations now. It's like, well, you know who this is already. Like everyone already knows and seen Ashes enough. It's like, oh, that's Ashes,
Yeah, it's
right?
very I think it's a distinct look, especially nowadays when you're um
Your alarm's going off.
well, dad's calling. I just have to uh
No,
that's
no,
hilarious.
we had mom on the podcast before. We might as well get that on here.
But I can't call
Oh
and
yeah,
use my phone
on
as a camera. Uh,
that's fine.
but what time? What time is it?
It's gonna
Uh,
call me now.
yeah. Uh, but yeah, I'm very impressed with the visuals. I think we mentioned last time that the class feel needs to be a bit more impactful. There's no like big boom bang kapow skills. Uh, I assume that's going to change with the augmentation system, the augment system, and I can't wait to see what those are. But I really like the visuals. I think the graphic direction is
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah, I'd agree with that one. That's a good one.
That was. Oh, I gotta change the scene. That was Haki Loki Noki I actually don't know what's
The
next.
door.
We back with feedback? That is not what we're doing. Uh, we're gonna do. I mean, uh, we're gonna do next up, but I was gonna word it in a way where it's what's coming up for you in the testing phases, because this is kind of where I want to bring in the. They recently did a poll, not a poll, a depth discussion about new player experience, blah blah blah, and they also recently took away the EU server. So
Yeah, which was hilarious.
it's like, I mean, it connects to the states anyway, so I'm playing on latency no matter what. I didn't really feel it all too much. Um, but yeah, pretty funny. So next up in this segment is talking about we're going to talk about this discussion where it would be this dev discussion 76 on the forums. We're going to try to keep it sweet and simple. So we have to go pretty soon. The new tester experience. So this is for mainly for when alphas start to phases start to go over, and this is probably what they're most going to look towards this forum when beta 1 starts. So the first question is, what do you enjoy most or least about your first time user experience in the Riverlands? Uh, I enjoyed all of it except probably like I didn't I
I
didn't
enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
what would you enjoy most?
I really liked uh the I kind of at the beginning I really liked the creatures, like the goblins rolling at you, because the
Yeah.
first time like seeing that you're like, oh, that won't kill me. Duh. Oh, that killed you. Like those little instances are really fun, and then at the beginning it was like trying out it, like it was kind of like the honeymoon phase at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
So,
I think I really enjoyed just like the fast scale of where you start off,
yeah,
that like line hold or whatever. That entire place, and you go down the hill, then back up the hill, and then the goblin and the castle and everything. That entire place, just the scale of it was pretty unique. I what I enjoyed least is just the sheer amounts you have to do to get to level 10.
yeah,
It is
painful.
painful in a way, and especially if you only have like a few hours here, a few hours there, you're not really playing to win, so to speak.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, what confused you the most during your first few hours of play?
Oh, the uh crafting was for sure weird, because you're like, okay, how do I get process experience?
Yeah, I
And then
guess
you can't. It
one of the
took
questions
me a
on this
while to get
forum,
it.
oh, sorry, one of the questions on this forum is how do you think of crafting is introduced?
It's not bad. Like they do the give you the little hand holdy. Okay, go chop those tree down and
Yeah.
go mine it. So they do kind of give you a brief little. Okay, this is this.
On
Right.
the first pass, it was like, oh, harvest 20 oak.
Yeah.
And then it was like harvest 20 granite or whatever, dull granite, and then you only need to use like one of them to make
Yeah.
the
To make like
pickaxe.
their neck the pickaxe. Yeah.
Uh, uh, ooh, excuse me. This is one that kind of alludes to our entire episode today. How did you feel about the rewards you received in the Riverlands intro area?
Or
Yeah, I felt poor too.
unless you unless you did like a group thing, like you, and even then you still wouldn't get a lot.
No, I feel like you. there was no sense of. It's funny. I was reading some of the comments, and to the first question, "What's your least and favorite thing?" One guy literally was like, "Oh, the sense of progression feels great," and then his least favorite thing was the leveling. I was like, "Excuse me? Are you fuck?
Sir?
You sir? You just said the same thing twice in two different aspects." But uh, the rule I the the fact that common gear is not common is incre incredibly weird.
Yeah.
Like you should pick up at least something, even if it's solely to change how you appear, change your appearance.
Yeah.
So, that's really bad. I mean, that's just a bad feeling to have, especially when your game is about progressing and stuff. And then following through, how did you feel about your rate of progression throughout the Riverlands intro area? Riverlands intro area.
Have you ever used toilet paper, sandpaper as toilet paper? It
Yeah, a
got
few
the job
times.
done, but god damn, it was a grind. That's how
That
I felt. I did it. Cause I had to, but it took.
a
It
great
was.
pun. Great pun on grind.
Yeah.
That's a that's a good one. Yeah, I feel about the same. I think they definitely made it better. My second pass with the fighter was definitely a lot better than my first pass with the mage.
Oh, definitely with the. Even like going from rogue ranger to rogue, it was like, oh, okay, I can kill things, yay!
Yeah, the rogue just melts everything, which was pretty cool. Uh, but other than that, there's nothing really in this dev discussion that would really employ me to say anything. New player experiences have always been the crux of an MMORPG, and I have not played enough of them, or my patience is way too high for MMORPGs to say which ones I do and do not like. I think I did the Ion tutorial like 20 times, and I just thought it was okay. It is what it is.
Yeah,
It
they're
is.
coming out with Iron too.
No,
Coming
they're
out.
not. You're lying.
I'm not lying. It was just announced. Hey, hold on the phone. Hold the phone.
Oh, it's PC and mobile. Second half of 2025. Well, oh yeah, it's going to be like a mobile game on the PC. But ooh, either way, uh, that's kind of everything for us. Unless there's something that you had in your notes that you wanted to bring up.
Uh, I did. So I've been trying to get into it, but lacrosse season started. It's kind of disheartening to me to when I sit down on my computer, I go, I can't wait to chop down trees for a half an hour, like or kill something with that, with giving that little progression. It kind of there was a couple days this week that I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm gonna play Magic the Gathering or for 10 minutes. It's better.
Yeah, there's no story.
Yeah,
There's no not in like there's no MSQ. Like we understand not every game needs an MSQ, but there's like I'm not developing a story. When I
yeah,
played when I played Black Desert or when I played this was more to Ion or Guild Wars 2, I felt like I was developing a story to tell to somebody else.
yeah,
Like, oh, in Guild Wars 2, I started Elementalist, blah blah blah, this that. I feel like I could say all those things. In Ashes, it's like, yeah, I picked a fighter who's loosely based off D&D 3.5 or Pathfinder,
got
and then
erased.
and then yeah, that I chop down trees and mine for fucking 6 hours.
Yeah,
What to do? So I am that's why I think like that's why I'm in high key, low key, no key, low key is like, why are you even doing balancing when there's so many other things that you could be doing? But I'm not the developer.
Nope. We're just a bunch of average Joes.
We're not average. We're actually wanted by the government,
Oh yeah.
Alex.
Oh yeah. Wanted
That's not
average
average.
Joes.
Average people pay taxes on time,
Yeah.
and below average pay taxes on time and still get screwed.
Because it still gets messed up. So yeah.
Closing
Oh yeah.
thoughts?
Closing thoughts. I hope this they shift their focus soon.
Yes. To what?
Uh, to the summoner to get these classes full. These classes should be fully sucked out by now. They
Yeah,
should
I
have like
agree.
augments, and they should be on the go. You
Server
don't need a
meshing.
new system.
They're
Don't
clean
need a
to
new starter.
yeah. You don't need a new start zone. Yeah, I 100% agree. Amen to that. Why like you did not need to work on that. And the fact that oh, that was the thing I was trying to remember. It spoils a lot of the game for when it releases.
Yeah,
Like the more that
I
they're adding to these testing phases, the less the release is going to be fun.
yeah.
So,
It's like they're just slowly like puttering out the game. It's like, oh, we'll
yeah,
just keep them happy. And it's like, well, just do all the classes first, and then when the game comes out, everyone can wait on their PCs for 24 hours to download the freaking map. And then we'll all play in like four. There's going to be probably like 10, 20 different starting zones you can pick from,
yeah.
right? So,
But but now it's going to be, oh, we've tested all the starting zones prior, blah 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 blah.
yeah,
To be fair, we are a very small part of the potential uh
gain, I guess.
game, yeah, the player base. But for us that worked into it or that put work in it for a price, literally and figuratively, it kind of feels like we're spoiling ourselves, which makes the thing that we want to play less impactful. Anyways, full circle moment. But that is essentially our show. Lots of chatting today, not a lot of I guess it's a talk show, so there's chatting all the time. Maybe we'll start to get the gameplay when I'm back in Canada in June, and maybe we'll start doing some gameplay streams and this, that, and the other.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Yeah, and on the server on the phase three, so in August 1st, we will have a new look. Been working on it slowly but surely. So we will be it'll be kind of our
We'll be
season two.
updating
Yeah,
with
we'll
the
be
game.
updating.
Whoa.
Oh yeah. It'll be our season two. So if you're an avid fan and like the fact that we went from three to two, uh we'll have a two-person layout, which will be a bit better. Have a bit better on the slideshows and stuff, or on try to do a little everything a bit better. Small improvements. But that is us at Gaming the Meta. We will see you in 2 weeks' time. Signing off.
Peace.
This is my left hand, by the way.